Hello. It's Friday. It's not morning though. It's Friday afternoon because I had an amazing morning and had lunch with a friend of mine, well, coffee with a friend of mine who is helping me develop some business strategies and doing some awesome stuff. So I had this awesome morning. And so it's like 12:30. So today, instead of having the Friday morning, Friday morning live, I thought we could have the Friday lunch hour live, right? So it has kind of a ring to it because we have to stay flexible. Sometimes we start a project and things are great and you move forward and you get a different perspective, or things get in the way and it doesn't go. So like I could have just come home and worked and said, oh, I missed the morning and so I'm not going to do my live video. But of course I couldn't do that because it's Friday. I have to do my live video. So I'm learning this week, I had a lot of coffee, and so bear with me. I'm learning this week that flexibility is critical to my recovery, and flexibility and caring. I think that I got to care for myself. So this week I had a lot of conversations with people that I really care about and trust, and people that have been my friends for a long time and people that have been my friends for a short time. But I had those, you can have conversations with people, how you doing? And then you have conversations with people, how you doing? Really, how is it going? And we have conversations about life, and we have conversations about things that are really at the core of who we are. This week was a great week. I had 2 different conversations, maybe more, but 2 that I can remember. And so I just have all of that is swirling in my head, and it may come out in today's live video. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about was flexibility, because when we get rigid is when we get negative, because then it's like, well, things aren't going right. Well, things didn't come my way. Well, I visioned this and instead I got that, and that is not what I visioned. So we have to be flexible. I have to be flexible in how I approach my life. And when I am flexible and when I am positive and I start to see, oh, I wanted this, but I got that. And, oh, hey, that looks pretty interesting. Things are better. I'm not angry. I'm not frustrated. I'm more open and curious and accepting, and just taking the next step to what's right in front of me. So I figured that out this week. And another thing that I figured out this week is that I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she said, gosh, I just get in my own way so often. And what she meant by that was that her own attitudes and her own belief systems is presented back to her in a way that was surprising. And she realized that if she wanted to be the kind of person she wanted to be, kind and loving and supportive, there were some things that were getting in the way. And you might hear my dog groaning in the background because he does that when he changes position. So that's Jack. If you hear Jack in the background, it's not my stomach. So, did I mention I had a lot of coffee? So we're talking about getting in our own way and really staying focused on the things around us, but staying flexible. And kind of what that meant for me this week is really being grounded in who I am. If I'm grounded in who I am and why I am, and just accept who I am 100%, that's radical, but just know that I'm enough, then when things don't go the way I think they should, I don't need to be afraid. When I recognize my own attitudes, I don't need to beat myself up. I can just say, well, oh, isn't that interesting? Or, wow, that's really interesting, and get super curious about maybe where my attitudes came from, or why something didn't work out the way it was. I don't know if this is making any sense to you, but it makes sense to me, and so I want to share it with you. Sometimes these Friday morning lives are just very focused, and I know exactly what I want to say. And some days I just want to share with you what I experienced this week. That's kind of what today is turning out. However, I'm all about recovery. Here they are. You know that I'm all about the guiding principles of recovery and the dimensions of recovery. And there was one that I want to talk about, and it is so cool. Recovery, it's really about exactly what I was talking about. Recovery is supported through relationships and social networks. And social networks, online social networks, and also social networks, who's next to me, and on the bus, social networks. And when was the last time I talked to my friend, social networks? So let's be intentional about that, right? So an important factor in the recovery process is the presence and involvement of people who believe in the person's ability to recover, who offer hope, support, and encouragement, and who also suggest strategies and resources for change. Change? Why would I need to change? I'm just fine, thank you. Well, maybe not, right? But so there's so much to unpack here. Let's go through it. An important factor in the recovery process is the presence and involvement of people. So that means you got to have people around you. And if you've listened to my Friday morning live before, you know that I like to isolate. I like to just be here in my little office and my little Holding the Hope Central here, Mary Jed Wisiak, Battleground, Washington, Holding the Hope Central. I love that. I love just having my dog Jack and me and this world that I have. I love my home. I love my office. I love my life. And sometimes I have to really be intentional to be in the presence of people. And that's why I love my work, because I go out and I'm with people, and that's awesome. So we have to have the presence of people, and we have to have the involvement of people. So just being in a room full of people sometimes can be good, but actually having people involved in my life is awesome, because then people know me. It's okay to be known. The reason that I hide is because I believe that I'm not good enough, or I believe that there's something about me that I don't want other people to know. And when I threw that off, like last week when I talked about that imposter syndrome, when I threw that off and said, if I'm not enough, it's not my issue, man, what a difference that made. And I could allow people to come in and be involved in my life and to be present in my life. Am I perfect at it? Absolutely not. Do I have to work at it? All the time. Also, I'm very selective as to who I let in, because, I've worked really hard to create this fantastic place, and I don't let just anything or anybody in. So that's kind of important, right? To think about what do we have here, and to be protective of it, and to have boundaries, but they don't need to be concrete walls with razor wire on the top. Boundaries. So the presence of people and the involvement of people in our life. Awesome. Also, the people that are in our life have to believe in our recovery. They have to believe in it. Why would you have people around who don't believe in you? But yet we do. We do, because they've been there for a long time. But I think it's really important to seek people out that really believe in who we are and believe in our capacity and our potential. They see it in us. We don't see it often, but we need to have other people see in us and reflect back to us what they see. They believe that we can get well. They have the reasonable expectation that things can get better. They're holding the hope for us. Who is holding the hope for you? That's a question you should ask yourself. Who's holding the hope for me? And really embrace those people and thank them, because they might not be around forever. And sometimes those are the people that we get so angry with, because they hold us accountable and they say, you can do better. We have faith in you and we love you, and knock it off. So that can be a little irritating for those folks and for us. But, that's relationships, right? Which leads me to the next step in here, where it says they offer us hope. They offer us support, they offer us encouragement, but they also suggest strategies and resources for change. Strategies and resources for change. Oh my gosh, look at this. All kinds of wonderful stuff is coming up. I love that you guys are hearting it up and giving me thumbs up. That makes me so happy, because I'm here and I know that I'm not talking to just nothing. So, strategies and resources for change, which means that we need to change. Not everything, not all the time, but life is about change and life is about moving forward. And sometimes the things that worked for us before may not work for us again. And sometimes we may be forced with new challenges. And so when you have people around you that believe in you and believe in your ability and support you, they are going to offer strategies for you that you may not think would work. That you may not see. And so for me, I get really defensive sometimes when people offer me strategies for change that I didn't ask for. But I have to kind of look at, well, what's the intention behind that? And if their intention is kind and loving, then I got to kind of look at it and say, well, okay, this might be something that I need to do. Or I might say, this is really nice and put it away for later. Or, I tried this a while ago and it did work and I forgot how well it worked. And so I'm going to try it again. One of the resources that we have and strategies that we have for change in our world is WRAP, right? Wellness Recovery Action Planning, developed by the Copeland Center. It's an awesome tool that helps us and involves all of those people in our life that support us and that love us. And so it really meets this whole dimension. And you may know that my friend Sharon Holmes and I are going to be doing a WRAP class, a WRAP refresher for those of you who are co-facilitators and you need WRAP training refresher. We're going to be doing one of those. Now, we originally planned it for Tacoma, and we originally planned it for May, late May. But we did not discuss this with any of the people that might be involved in this. We just kind of looked at it from our perspective, our calendars, and what was going on in the state, and thought this would be a great time and a great place to do it. And what's happened is we've realized that's not the case. So what are we doing? Are we walking away and saying, well, we're a failure? No, we're looking at it and we're readjusting it and we're saying, hey, this needs some flexibility. So we're moving it to Portland, Oregon, and we're going to be moving it back to June or July. So we believe in the work that we do. We believe in who we are, and we're going to make some changes and some strategies, and we're going to be flexible. So that's exactly what I'm talking about when I look at my life and I talk about changes and flexibility. I involve people in my life and in my work, and we can all do a better job when that's the case. We don't have to be like, we're going here, by gum, this is what it's going to be. It's not working, so we're going to move it. We're going to be flexible. So I love that I can do that. I love that I can be okay with not being perfect and I can adjust my courses. I love that it's okay for me to just be who I am and do what I do. And people say what they say and then it's gone and I'm okay because I'm still here. And I still have people in my life and I still get to do this amazing work. And you get to come along with me. Now, wait, somebody gave me a message. I got to put my glasses on and read it when I got here. Oh, Brooke! My God, you're my friend. And it's so good. Brooke says we need people who will be real with us. That is so true. People who are going to tell us the truth, but in a kind of loving way. I don't want somebody who's going to be all up in my business, but I do want somebody who's going to say, I think you could use this tool. So I'm with you, Brooke. We need people who will be real with us. I love those people that are real with me, and people seem to like that I'm real with them. So I think that's awesome. So flexibility, attitudes, recovery, just really happy with my life and with what I get to talk about. So here's my question, right? Since we're speaking of flexibility, I was wondering if you would prefer if I do my Friday morning live on the lunch hour, if that would be good for you. Give me some hearts and some thumbs up if you like it better at lunch hour. If it doesn't matter, don't worry about it. But I'm thinking Friday lunch hour live has a better ring to it than Friday morning live. I don't know. Whatever. Just know that I'm going to be around on Fridays and I'm going to be doing my live videos. And I really am excited because I've got some big plans coming. I'm working hard on some new directions around developing lots of different ways for people to stay well. Because I just want to say that you got to believe that people can get well. And I really want, that's my message, is that people get well and we can support them and we can applaud them and we can be them, right? And we can bring everybody with us. So I'm running out of things to say, and I've had a lot of coffee, and I am so grateful that it's Friday because I'm going to do some fun things this weekend. I'm going to have a play rummy with my family on Sunday and just do some fun stuff. Next week, my Friday morning live or Friday lunch hour live is going to be coming from the beach. I'm going to be in Rockaway, Oregon with a bunch of friends. We go there once a year, and basically we just eat and sleep all weekend, and we play poker. So it's a wonderful weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. However, I've got a whole week worth of work to do before I can do that, and I'm going to be in Moses Lake on Tuesday, and I am super excited to see those of you in Moses Lake on Tuesday. We're going to be doing a workshop about supporting peers when they're in crisis and talking about suicide prevention. So I hope that you can join me. If those of you who are in Washington State can join me in Moses Lake, I'm looking forward to being there. This time of year, it's going to be quite pretty. And that's enough out of me. So it's Friday. Go have a fantastic weekend. And of course, you know what I'm going to say, right? Stay hopeful.